He's asking if there should be a review.
I'll let this one slide.
Decide against it. 30 overs bowled in the innings, 124 for 2. And there'll be time for one more. So this will definitely be the last over of the day. It's been an eventful day so far.
What? People of the internet, welcome back to the Armbar Arcade and welcome to a very special new complete series. This is F1 2018 Career Mode. Now, full disclosure right off the bat, some of you might be wondering, this is a bit early, isn't it? Well, Codemasters very kindly sent me a copy of this game for review for my day job as a freelance games journalist. I did my review, really rated the game highly. No surprise, I've always really liked the Codemasters F1 games, with some exceptions. And I'd argue that this is the best of the lot by far. This is the best Codemasters F1 game ever. So I did my review and I thought, how about this also be my new complete series on Armbar Arcade? I ran that past Cody, so I checked if that was alright. They said, yeah, go for it. So, here we are. Putting together my avatar here. There's me, F1 driver. I'm number 99, in reference to my old NASCAR boy, Jeff Burton. And, here we go. Let's dive straight in. This does feel like a bit of a throwback to the Bomber Sports Plays days, although, funnily enough, I've never got past the first episode of an F1 complete series on my time on YouTube ever. Anyway, I'm going to sit down for a preliminary conversation with my agent and someone else who I think is about to be introduced.
Claire, motorsports journalist. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Claire.
You've seen quite a lot of me throughout the season.
No, AJ, don't be dirty. Don't be dirty.
Junior career. How are you feeling about your
Hang on, I had an impressive junior career?
Do you think you have what it takes?
The only career I've had is a failed owner-driver stint in NASCAR. Oh, she's been silenced. My agent's just been like, no, not right now.
I think we could fit you in after FP1 if you're free.
That works for me. I'll grab you the second you finish on the track.
Brilliant. Okay, just bring a can of deodorant. I might be a bit sweaty. Right, so we've got to go see Carl, our engineer. Here he is. And actually, I'm convinced that's not Carl. Based on the looks and the Australian accent, I'm convinced that's Jamie Whincup. Tell me it's not just me that sees... That's Jamie Whincup. And I have to say, given how much success he's had in V8 supercars, not a bad guy to have as my engineer. Anyway, he is talking at me.
Well worth the effort. Good luck this season.
Cheers, I'm going to need it.
Oh. And make us all look good, okay?
Okay, no promises. But, yeah, what this will also reveal is the team I'm driving for this year, Scuderia Toro Rosso. I did have a little bit of a devil's own job trying to narrow down the options. I was thinking maybe Renault, McLaren. It's a shame my old Lotus boys aren't in F1 anymore. They would have been my pick. But I went with Toro Rosso. I thought that'd be a nice challenge. They have good-looking cars. And the car itself is quite nice to handle and drive. It's just down on power. So, a nice challenge to try and get into the points this season. So, let's jump into practice. And here we are for practice at the first round of the season, the Australian Grand Prix. There's Carlos Sainz, Renault, talking in a microphone. That's, is that Sergei Sorokin? I think it is. Someone from Williams, and he doesn't look like Lance Stroll, so I assume that's Sorokin. There's Roman Grosjean for Haas, looking at a lot of numbers on a graph and pretending to know what they mean. He's like, yes, I do understand what you're saying to me. Honest. Oh, there's Lance Stroll, the other Williams driver. So again, a little bit of a flavour of the paddock here. And then in comes me. There's Daniel Ricciardo with the Dale Earnhardt tribute number 3. And speaking of NASCAR numbers, I picked my number in tribute to a NASCAR driver. And look! The font matches Jeff Burton's old number 99. How brilliant is that? So anyway, I'm done marking out about that. Let's get into free practice 1. So just like the last few F1 games, there's a few mini games you can do in practice for resource points and things like that. And for the most part, the ones in the first practice session anyway went very smoothly. I did the old track acclimatization, did some tyre wear. They're seemingly quite easy to do, although I wasn't exactly very fast. End of the first practice session, 17th. 3 positions behind my teammate. My target for the season is to actually finish regularly 17th or better in the race. So I suppose we're right where we are for the moment.
Tell us about
and here's Claire. Okay, I will.
It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula 1. You must be thrilled.
I mean, I have to say, I'm just absolutely thrilled. But, you know, this isn't the end of the journey. It's just the beginning.
So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in?
Well, you know, I mean, Jamie Whincup, Greg, he's a good engineer. So it's a struggle to remember this many new names, but they're making me feel right at home, you know? It's good.
What are you expecting out of this season? Are you
to not be terrible.
To find your feet in Formula 1, or do you see something more?
I mean, I tell you what, I've got to be honest, 50 years from now, people will be telling their grandkids about my rookie season.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Thank you, Claire. There we go. So what that also showed there is something we'll get into later on in the series, the new sportsmanship showmanship meter, which is like a sort of reputation meter. As you can tell, I'm going for the showmanship option, which basically means I'm going to be a massive cocky heel, hopefully. But anyway, free practice 2, pretty smoothly, ran through there. Did a lot better in that one. Actually, no, this is FP3 as well. So we went through FP3. The toughest practice mini-games were the ERS deployment ones and the qualifying simulation. I was a little bit concerned about that one. And we did also have a crash in FP3, which will explain why Claire is going to ask us some of these questions. You see what I mean? Well, I mean, I could just admit it's a lack of driver talent, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll be honest, the car didn't feel like it had enough downforce. Unsurprisingly, the Aero team have noticed that. They've noticed me throwing shade at them. That's a big thing in this year's career mode, you throwing shade at your own team in interviews, which I'm about to do again. I'm just subtweeting the poor Aero department.
Right. Well, that's everything.
Unsurprised. Thank you, Claire, by the way. Unsurprisingly, when I got back to the garage, my rep has tanked. I think that was more for crashing in practice. I mean, obviously, if you're a new F1 driver and you crash in one of your first practice sessions, the internet is going to laugh at you. We've seen this before. But speaking of some of the resource points we've earned in practice, let's spend some of them now on our first upgrades. And for the now, I'm going to focus on the powertrain side of the upgrade tree. You see it's split into like these 4 trees, these tiers. And I'm going to spend all my points for now on various engine upgrades. There's the first big one, the ignition system. Because I really think, to me, in my personal experience, I mean, I may be misjudging it, but for me, the Toro Rosso handles quite nice. It's quite a comfortable car to drive, but it does feel like it's lacking power top end and just lacking some grunt out the corner, so I think we're going to really focus on that for now. And with that in mind, let's head straight into our first qualifying session.
It won't be easy getting out of this qualifying session. Let's see what you can do.
Well, thanks for your words of encouragement there, Jeff. You sent me out on the track in Q1 with basically the words of, we probably won't get out of Q1, but do your best. And then look what he starts doing. He starts trying to give me a tyre tutorial while I'm on my first flying lap. I mean, hang on a sec. Let me key the radio here.
Jeff, mate, can you stop? Can you stop? I'm trying to do a fast lap here. You had all this time in the garage where you could have been tutorialising how tyre temperatures work, which I know... Can you stop now? Can you just stop? Thank you.
There we go. He's finally stopped talking. And despite Jeff's rude interruption there, we can come around for our first lap. First ever qualifying lap. And Bottas is already in the 123s and Mercedes. We're probably not going to be anywhere near that. Oh no, actually, 123.9. Do you know what? I will take that. And I don't even think that's the fastest we can go. Although we certainly aren't going to improve on this lap at all. Oh. In fact, we're not going to improve at all in this session, you know, because we crashed. So that's our second crash in a day. And I've got to do the walk of shame again. Please, no cameras. I quickly tipped my visor down and just been like, no, this is actually Pierre. Pierre's actually borrowed AJ's helmet. So, yeah, there we go. But, well, once all that happened, we ended up 15th. Which is kind of annoying in a way because we would have made it into Q2, but unfortunately we couldn't then take part in Q2 because we crashed. And we actually out-qualified our teammate. But there we go, 15th's all right. So here we go then, race day. Here's the track we will be doing battle on, Albert Park in Australia. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar, actually. Not only am I quite, well, I'm not terrible around here, I actually kind of like the track. It has a nice flow to it. It's not, I'm not really a fan of a lot of the modern Tilkodrome kind of tracks with a lot of the fiddly technical turns and everything like that. This one's just right, I like it. So then first things first, let's go through the starting grid. And do you know what? Hang on a sec. I've got just the music for you. Hang on a sec. All right, here we go. There we go, that's better. So, let's run through the grid of the first round of the Formula 1 season 2018. It's a Ferrari lockout in row 1, Vettel and Raikkonen locking out the front row for the prancing horse. The two Mercedes, third and fourth, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. It's the Noah's Ark grid in the first few rows, Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, 5th and 6th for Red Bull. Then it's Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Perez and Magnussen locking out the top 10. Ocon, Alonso, Van Dorn and me. A position higher than I thought I was starting. Then it's Sainz, Leclerc, Ericsson, Stroll, and Sorokin and Pierre Gasly, our teammate, on the last row of the grid. We are now sat on the grid. Gonna take a little sip of tea and work on our strategy. That was trying to be a rhyme there, that failed. So we've got two main options here. This is the kind of regular strategy, although I like to be one of those people that flips the tyres around, so I start on the harder tyre. get that out of the way, and then go on to the softer tire near the end and like, charge. I like doing that. So, and actually, our projected delta is actually slightly, well, 0.04 of a second faster if we do it that way around. With ultra softs, there's no way we can make those work. The stints would just be too long. So I think we're going to go for that as opposed to a two-stopper. I guess there's nothing else stopping us now. This is, as they say, it. Round 1 of the 2018 Formula 1 season. I've somehow landed a drive for Toro Rosso. Let's do this, shall we? And away we go! Straight away, crank all the ERS and the fuel up to maximum. We've got an average kind of start. I will say I am running ABS and medium traction control as driving aids as we dive bomb into turn 1. And we are already up to 11th, so a decent start. We just got into it a little bit there with Magnussen. We've just tucked in front of Alonso at turn 1, that's quite nice. And we've avoided any damage. Sparks flying as we go down to turn 3 for the first time. And we squeeze up the inside of Hulkenberg. We're into the top 10, we're into 9th place. Someone's already DNF'd. It's absolute carnage already. And we're up behind Perez and Grosjean, who are going at it, and they're slowing each other down so much. Let's see if we can get in position here. Can we look up the inside here? Oh! What on earth happened there? We've just been dropped... What? Come on, we've just been drop-kicked off the track. What the hell happened there? Goes our teammate. He started last and he's already ahead of us. What the bloody hell happened there? Let's have a look at the replay, shall we? All right, we're coming down here. And then... Oh my god, Hulkenberg gets turned around and gets punted into us. So it was a chain reaction of sorts. And it looks like it was Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen, fella, what are you doing? Looks like it was kind of a marginal call there, but even so. Meanwhile, oh my god. Well, Ocon's turned around Alonso as well, and there was synchronized crashing for a moment there. But somehow, we've got away from that quite luckily. Hence why I didn't use a flashback. We actually got away with that with no damage whatsoever. Well, except for the fact we're now last by miles. Although we're not last, the other two people involved in the crash are last. But, yeah. So, as first racing laps in anger in F1 go, could have gone better.
1 week later.
Oh, here we go, finally. Nearly 9 laps into the race. We've got someone to race now. And look, would you look at that? It's our teammate. Gasly just can't get away from us this weekend. I'm actually going to have someone to battle in this race, which is nice. So I thought I was just going to be trundling around for all 29 laps at the back, just trying to finish after that first lap wreck. But we are very much in this squabble, and we're up the inside of our teammate. Oh, he tries shutting the door while we already had our foot in it. And I'll tell you what, the AI this year are about as aggressive, and in the Williams case, about as slow as... I mean, come on, really? I know the Williams aren't great this year, but guys, do you want to get a move on? Are you, like, getting nostalgia for Manor or someone? And thinking, you know what F1 really needs? A plucky British team that are also slow as shit. Is that what you're trying to do, lads? Well, things could be worse. We could be Kimi Räikkönen, who's already DNF'd. Hopefully, as these battles will demonstrate, we're going to get some DRS here. But Gaz is going to get DRS off of Sorokin, I think that is. And Sorokin's going to get DRS off Stroll. So it's like a... He was said to be the DRS. We're up the inside of Gasly. There we go. Nice little pass there. Down in turn 12. That seems to be my preferred passing position, as hopefully these battles will start to demonstrate. The AI in this game are about as aggressive as any Codemasters F1 game there's ever been, and I like it. As someone who's grown up racing in NASCAR and touring car kind of sim racing games, I like this aggressive AI. It actually feels like you're racing against highly professional, highly determined, highly skilled racing drivers rather than AI drones. Like in previous games, they were very conservative. They were like, oh, shall I go up the inside? There's a yawning chasm there on the inside. Shall I stick my nose up there? Nah, maybe not. This time, it's like if you leave half a yard or like half a millimetre of space on the apex, it's like, no, I'm coming through. We are now tucked up behind the first of the Williams, which is actually Lance Stroll. And interestingly, behind us, Magnussen has passed Gasly. So I assume what's happened there, because Magnussen actually, well, he was the one that triggered off that massive wreck on the first lap. So I assume what's happened is that he's now pitted and he's on a two-stop strategy. So, best form of defence is attack. So let's dive bomb Lance Stroll. Guess where? At turn 12. There we go. It's worked quite nicely. That was a bit of an aggressive move there. I mean, it was kind of like those, you know, those Valentino Rossi block passes he does in MotoGP, where it's like he'll dive on me and then just stop on the apex and make the opponent be like, break and be like, what the hell, man? But, yeah, we kind of screwed over Stroll there, but at the moment, I don't care. I'm on the comeback trail, and I need to make up positions as quickly as possible. So, Sorokin, you're next, mate. Oh, a little bit of contact with the right rear there. Just unsettled the car, and we are through. And with all the pit stops that have been happening, we're actually up to P10. I have just noticed Kevin Magnussen is definitely sticking with us, and I suspect he's going to be quite a bit faster than us as well, because Like I say, I have a theory he's running a two-stop strategy, which means he'll have started on ultra softs, and as you can see now in the top left, he's now on super softs, and he's going to be on fresher super softs than us. We're going to be on 11-lap-old soft tyres, so as much as I do want to get a little bit of payback on him for dumping us off on the first lap, I'm going to have to be patient and let him go for now. Got my eye on you, K-Mag. Got my eye on you. Big Kev. Don't think I've forgotten about that opening lap skirmish. But for now... Well, he's actually redeeming himself a little by giving us DRS. So thanks for that, Kev. Thanks for that, Big Kev. And, well, for now, we've got to be sensible here. Because another thing about this game, and you'll notice this, you may have noticed this already with some of the AI battles, is that even if you start to aggressively battle side by side with one car for a short amount of time, it costs you so much time. Believe it or not, like real racing. That is what happens in real racing. You start battling side by side, you slow each other up. And, you've already seen teammates and guys battling side by side tripping themselves up, and we hopefully should be able to capitalise on that at various points in the upcoming races, or maybe even in this one. Okay, so 14 laps in, and things are starting to get interesting now. My soft tyres are a long way from being good, and I'm starting to attract some company. And it's not the sort of company I really want. It's a hard-charging Sergio Perez. And unlike Kevin Magnussen, he's on basically the mirror strategy to us. He's on the start on super softs, and now he's on fresh softs strategy that we were going to be on before we flipped the tyre compounds. And so right now we're on the crossover point where he's on the far better tyres, and also, let's be honest, the Force India is probably a much better car at this point in time than the Toro Rosso. I suspect it's certainly a lot faster in a straight line. So as a result, we've got a Perez for company. We've got a Perez party happening behind us, and it seems like he's invited some of his mates as well. I didn't want to be invited to this party, but apparently I'm now hosting it. Oh god, there he is. He's camping on our rear wing. He's actually trying to go on the outside, coming up towards turn 10. This is very ambitious. Oh, he just backs out. I thought he was going to try and go side by side and force the issue. He does not. He backs out for now. And he's actually lost a bit of time there, but he'll almost certainly get DRS on us, so he'll be right back under our rear wing any moment now. In fact, I'm scared to look behind us. So we're not going to for the moment. But it's safe to say, we're 15 laps in on our soft tyres. The pit window is, I think, now. But I think we're just trying to stretch them as far as possible so we don't then... Oh my god, we just bounced off the wall coming out the final corner. Luckily, those guys weren't too close behind, but I suspect they will be joining us again for another party soon. But we are trying to stretch this soft tyres as far as possible so when we go onto the super softs, we don't end up running them for too long.
Right, our current set of rubber is looking a bit worse for wear at this point. It's not going to be long before it falls away from us completely. Stay alert.
I mean, no shit, Jeff. No shit, Sherlock.
I'm the one actually driving on these knackered old soft tyres. Oh, and they are very knackered. Well, the left side tyres in particular are very knackered. Perez is starting to try and close back in again. And like I say, I think he's got some company there as well. He might be starting to attract a bit of a pain train here. It's not the sort of train... I like trains normally, but that's not the kind of train I like. Dear me, that was close. Just put a wheel or two on the grass there. And those were the knackered wheels with no rubber left on them. They're basically already just sort of flailing carcass and chewing... Oh my god! So there's Perez in the Force India, there's his teammate Ocon right behind him, and right behind both of the Force Indias, there's Carlos Sainz in the Renault. Shit me up the arse, this is getting intense very quickly. And unlike Kevin Magnussen, I'm going to have to hold on to position here, because these guys are on a similar strategy to me. We are battling these guys, I think. Maybe we're not, I don't know, but at this point in time, I am battling them. Oh, Perez trying to go on the outside into turn 1. A little bit of a corner cut there. No one noticed, that's fine.
Okay, car ahead is now running the super soft tyre. That's the super soft on the car ahead.
Jeff, why are you giving me information about Valtteri Bottas, who's in the next postcode up the road, and in a Mercedes that we're never going to be battling for position in a million years right now? Really, Jeff? Really?
Okay, gap ahead is 11.
Stop talking to me about Bottas in front of us, and tell me about Perez right behind me. Literally right behind me. Get your priorities straight, Jeff.
Oh my god, he's trying to go around the outside of turn... Oi, Perez. Not going to have that. That's my dive bomb corner, not yours. Get your own corner to dive bomb someone at. Oh my god. Look at the amount of proximity arrows at the bottom of the screen. I am getting swarmed. This is terrifying. Help. Help me. Cranking the fuel and the ERS all the way up. Help me. Tell you what though, the little Toro Rosso is doing alright. The Honda power plant, I suspect it might be a little bit down on power compared to our rivals, but it's holding up alright for now. Here comes Perez on the outside. It's turn 3. Is he going to try it? Oh, he just locks up and we've just kept him out. Get back into P8, Perez. You're going to have to work harder than that to get round us, matey boy. Oh, my God. This is already getting intense. Deary me. We've still got over 10 laps to go. I cannot take this. And neither can my voice. I need a sip of tea. Oh, that's better. Tea at 170 miles an hour. It cures everything. In fact, that's what F1 drivers should have in their little drinks bowls, not water. Not that sort of like electrolyte water that people have. They should have tea. Perez, please have a cup of tea and chill. Jesus Christ.
Jeff, can you not talk to me about saving ERS? I know I'm rinsing the battery, but can you blame me?
Half the field is trying to have a picnic on my rear wing. Although, I don't want to tempt fate there. Oh, look. Did I just see Ocon? Flashed up in 8th place for a moment there. Yes, there he is. He's just past Perez. Oh, dearie me. Looks like there's a little bit of civil war at Force India. And this could cost them very dearly, because look at that. They are look how far back they are now. Oh, thank God for that. Jeff has just told us that we are going to box this lap. Let me just reply to Jeff.
Thank you, various gods. Thank you so much, Jeff. Please, I need new tyres. Now.
Oh, would you look at that? The two Force India started getting patient. Ocon was like, you know what? Get out of the way. Let me deal with this pleb. And Perez is like, no, wait. He's not worth it, bruv. And, well, now Science has passed both of them. Like, you two amateurs. You two are useless. Let me come through and let me see if I can pass this idiot. But, guess what, lads? This idiot's legged it up. While you lot have been battling over there, I've legged it up the road. I mean, I'm surprised the tyres aren't literally just like burning hunks of rubber and carcass and metal and chewing gum and crossed fingers at this point. Right, let's go into the pits now. And there we go. Stop braking now. Turns out that was way too early, but never mind. I don't care. I would much rather enter the pits at the speed of an old biddy going to the bingo than risk a drive-through penalty. So we're into the pits now. And onto the super softs. Go on, chop chop.
Go now.
Oh no, wait, it's me. There we go. So 2.9 stop, that's not too bad. Let's see where we come out. We've done our stop for the race. This is us all the way now, and we're back in 16th. Okie dokie. So we've got about 10 laps to go. We're back down in 16th, miles behind Gasly. This is like deja vu. I'll tell you what, guys, as if running on legend difficulty, 100 difficulty, which is pretty much more than any difficulty level I've ever raced on in any Cody's F1 game before. As if that wasn't enough, we're now having to fight back from that lap 1 crash, and we've only got 10 laps to avoid finishing 16th, which is kind of rubbish in our debut Grand Prix, so let's go get them. All right, so exactly a lap later, and look who we have for company. It's the two Williams. And would you look at that? They've switched order from early on in the race. It was Sirotkin, then Stroll earlier in the race. Stroll has since passed his teammate, and but they're still just trundling around here merrily, being rubbish, being so rubbish that even I've easily caught up with them. Let's get some DRS. Once again, Sirotkin's going to get DRS off his teammate, but it is not going to help him. He's going to be powerless to resist. Oh, look at that. Slamming on the brakes, huge puff of smoke. We've dive bombed the shit out of him, and we've made up a place. We're now up to P15. And as much as I'm saying this will be a pretty mediocre finish if we stay here, I mean, it will be. There's no two ways around it. Our target set by the team in our initial contract is to finish better than 17th. So we're still doing better than P17, but I'll be honest with you, we'd only need one more DNF and we could finish last and still be P17. So, do you know what? I want to do better than that. And do you know what? I also want to beat my teammate. That's the real statement here. I've got the old number 2 driver contract. I mean, understand me so. Let's go on the inside here on Stroll. Oh, bollock, that's not gone well. Hang on, edit that out. And this time we do turn 3 without ploughing into the back of Stroll. Oh, although he is going so slowly. My God, the Williams are terrible in this sector. That's so bad. I mean, I don't know which sector they're any good in. It's definitely not this one. Stroll, can you stop going at like 0.3 miles an hour? I mean, really? This is like driving behind someone with the pit limiter stuck on. I mean, seriously. You can't even beat these chumps, then what are we doing here? I mean, genuinely, what am I doing here anyway? My only experience in motorsport has been a failed stint as an owner-driver in NASCAR. Although I somehow did win the Daytona 500 in my imported NASCAR 15 career mode. And then in Heat Evolution, I got a couple of wins out of nowhere. But now, we're definitely not going to get the win in this race, but we still got a chance of an average finish. Oh, the inside in turn 12. There we go. In fact, a little challenge for you in the comments. Work out how many of my passes in this race were at turn 12. I'm going to bet 95% of them. Around that number, around that percentage, is going to have been at that corner. But I'll tell you what, in some ways, this is giving me flashbacks to NASCAR Heat Evolution, because we are scrapping and battling away for a mediocre position. But you know what? I don't mind that so much. I like that in NASCAR Heat Evolution, and I like that in this game as well. That's partially why I picked Toro Rosso, and I put it on 100 difficulty, which is actually the top end of Legend, I think. I think any higher than that, and you get into Ultimate, which is the ultimate level of difficulty in this game. And let me put it this way. I would have been about 4 seconds a lap off the leaders and 1.5 seconds a lap off my teammate in that mode. So we'll stick to Legend for now, but this is still more than enough of a challenge for the moment. And we have 7 seconds or so to chase down on our teammate Gasly in front.
In front is 7.0 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:28.3.
Okay, as Jeff said, we are exactly 7 seconds behind our teammate Gasly. He's on aging soft tyres, and his last lap was over a second slower than ours. We have got about 7 laps to go, or under 7 laps to go. Can we chase him down?
Our gap to the car in front is 5.6 seconds.
It's still 5.6 seconds, and we've got about 5-ish laps to go. Oh, this is hard work. I tell you, I'm sweating so much doing this. This is ridiculous. I'm sweating so hard just to catch P13.
Caution, caution.
Oh. Someone's DNF'd. Who's that? It's Alonso. So, I believe, yes, I think we have... Have we picked up a position? No, we haven't. Okay, so Alonso was behind us, I think. But either way, he's DNF'd, so we are still going. We are still desperately trying to hunt down Gasly. Oh, come on. Under 4 laps to go, and the gap's still over 5 seconds. I suspect that we've already rinsed the best grip out of the super softs. And we're just not gaining on Gasly. Well, I'm trying so hard here. I'm trying to manage the ERS. We've been permanently at a really low ERS all race. That is a new feature for F1 2018. Oh, hang on.
Some information on Grosjean. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh, well, looks like we might pick up 1 position at least. Simply through sheer attrition. Looks like Grosjean's had some problems. Well, the gap's now under 5 seconds, but it's still not closing enough. We've got under 3 laps to go now. Just about 3 laps worth of fuel. There's the ailing Grosjean. But, well, he's given us a free position, but that's still not really our concern. We're still just struggling so hard to close that gap down to Gasly. What can we do? All right, so under 2 laps to go now, and for some reason, Grosjean's still hobbling around. I don't know why he hasn't just pulled over to the side, and... Oh, my God. That's Pierre Gasly. That's Gasly. And you know what that also is? There's 2 other cars with him. And if we're P13 and we manage to pass these 3, that's points.
Okay, we need some energy.
Oh my God. Epic music on, please. Epic music on right now. I thought we weren't going to have a cat in hell's chance of chasing down Gasly before the end, but all of a sudden we're right there. And in front of him is Ericsson and Van Dorn, who are going to war over the final spot in the top 10. Hello guys, I've decided to join the party let. Room for 1 more. Oops. Right, let's try that again. Hello guys, room for 1 more. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, 3rd time lucky. Hello guys, I've decided to join the party. We'll dive on the inside of Gasly. We've got that done. Now we're on the outside of Van Dorn at the final corner. Come on. Come on. We're coming round to the white flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank, presumably. Oh, we just chopped the nose off Gasly. All of a sudden, this has got very real. Oh, the inside of Van Dorn at turn 1. Yes. Yes, there we go. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but 3 out of 3 will be awesome. 1 more position and we'll be in P10 and we'll get points on day... Well, at least a point. And we're going to go down... Oh, that's... Oh, dear. Right, that's how you do turn 3 on the final lap, where you're battling for a points-paying finish. Sebastian Vettel's won the Grand Prix. Somewhere Andre Harrison's going to be very happy. And in fact, art has imitated life. Vettel's won the Australian Grand Prix in our career mode. He did IRL, but for the moment, we are now going to try and change the course of history by somehow getting a top 10 on debut. It's been such a topsy-turvy weekend. We crashed in practice, crashed in qualifying, crashed on the first lap. And I think Grosjean's still hobbling around. And I think it was his ailing car that caused everyone in front to slow up. And we're even in this position. There he is, Grosjean. I'll owe you a beer after the race. But I think we are just going to... I mean, Ericsson is determined to hang on in the Sauber of all cars, which I think on paper is around the same performance, if not a little bit weaker than ours. He's determined to cling on this position. Come on! One more time. No, we've gone wide. This car's got nothing left. There's barely any fuel left. There's barely any battery left. There's barely any rubber left. There's barely any energy left in the driver. Power sliding out of the final corner. Oh, we're going to come up just short. We're not going to score points on our debut. But I'll tell you what, it is going to be P11 on debut.
Nice work.
And given how rubbish our first lap was, and all the chaos in practice and qualifying, I will take that. Thank you very much. I have never sweated that hard over a mid-table finish ever. That was definitely some NASCAR Heat Evolution flashbacks. Ooh, Lewis Hamilton didn't even get on the podium in the end. He finished 4th. That's interesting. So I assume it must have been Bottas that made it onto the podium, because no modern F1 Grand Prix cannot have a Mercedes on the podium. Yeah, there he is in 3rd. And it was Max Verstappen who got 2nd in the absence of, well, Raikkonen DNF. And I guess Ricciardo missed out on the podium. There's Vettel. He's very happy. He's going to start spraying champagne. You spray some on me, mate. I need to cool down. Meanwhile, I'm down by my car. I've basically passed out, sat on my car. People are pouring water on my head. I'm absolutely knackered. I've got blisters on my hands. That was an intense race. But in the end, we just missed out on championship points, which is really gutting. Ericsson deservedly takes the final spot in the top 10. And driver of the day goes to Carlos Sainz, who we did a little bit of battling with earlier. And, I mean, fair enough, to be honest. He started 15th and finished 6th. So, yeah, there you go. And at least it wasn't Max Verstappen. So,
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Yeah, sorry, I was just having a bit of water.
Out there. Your team must be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, that one was for the fans. I always put on a good show. I'm a showman. I'm here to put on a good show. And understandably, my showmanship rating has increased.
During the race, didn't you?
I mean, I did. I mean, that was a hard charge right there. But I'll tell you what, it was great. And the car was really nimble and sticking to the track. That was me just making it up to the aero department.
Didn't you?
I did have a close battle with Pierre Gasly. Now, do we go heel on him? Do you accuse him of being a thorn in our side? For now, we'll go babyface. We've been pushing each other to be the best drivers we can be.
You left a lot
so I actually get a sportsmanship point for that.
Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Now, to be honest, my honest answer here would be I was just charging really hard and a bit scrappily. So, in the end, I had to answer I don't remember hitting anything, which Toro Rosso didn't like. They were like, really? You didn't realise that you hit the wall? Are you serious? I'm like, well, yeah. But, so one of the new features in career mode, the media obligations thing, has some limitations, and my rep with Toro Rosso this weekend has been like a sine wave. It's been like, nope, nope, nope. But, oh, excuse me. Losing my voice here. That was round 1. It was round 1 of career mode for F1 2018. I've already lost my voice. I'm already sweating. That was ridiculous. I'll tell you what, so we sit in the hall of post-race in the data centre for Toro Rosso. We've got some invitational events to do before the next round, but we'll save them for the future episode. For now, I really hope you enjoyed this first episode, guys. I've really enjoyed putting this thing together. I have a very good feeling about this series, and I have a good feeling that we will actually make it beyond, well, I will actually make it beyond 1 episode for a F1 career mode on YouTube, because this game's the best Cody's F1 game of all time, and I'm really enjoying playing it. So give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Comment down below the amount of overtakes I did at turn 12. Subscribe if you're new around here. Click the bell to be notified, and we'll see you guys next time in the Armbar Arcade.